Hi everyone, let's paint together today this beautiful 15 centimeters or 6 inches mandala inspired by summer solstice. I want to create something with symbolizing flame, life, sun, green, everything growing now. So let's do this together. And as always, we need to find the center of this mandala. And I'll link in video if you need more tutorial on this. And after that, I'm making marks. I will create circles every 1 centimeter and lines every 15 degrees. And if you like this video, you like this palette, I've just finished work on a really big piece, 60 centimeters, yeah, so huge. And this tutorial will be available on my Patreon channel. So let's go, link in description box below this video, as well as all materials that I will use for paint this small piece. So as I said, orange, red, like flame colors. It's different tones of orange and red, obviously. So I will use these beautiful colors. And remember, if you don't have all of them, with white paint, you can create custom colors, different tones of this. Obviously, this will be not exactly these ones, but still you can create more colors if you don't have enough paint, like all of this that I did use. And also I want to use this bright red and dark red, I may say, and dark green. Again, if you do have another tones of green and red, use another ones that you do have. And also 3D drops. I will use this one, Love Poison, Nuvo, this light orange, and also this one, also really bright orange, this art creation. If you can find this one, I almost finished this bottle because of that huge piece that I did finish. And yeah, I may need to buy a new one, but maybe I will use it. You see the color almost the same like this bright orange. And yes, all materials in description. Let's start it. So I want to create really big central dot because I planning to place more paint on the top to symbolize the flame. And you see I'm using this country red, but actually Trie Red also will work for you. So I will put in straight from the bottom small drop and making with the tool that size that I need. It's perfectly working in this situation when tool really big and central dot really big. And within tool, I'm moving paint around. I want to create nice surface. When it's dry out, I will put another paint on the top. That's why I need really nice surface. And straight away, I'm using gel green. What I'm doing on a space, on a line between first central and second circle line, I'm placing the dot. I'm counting 2, passing 2 lines, and on the next one, I'm putting next dot. So technically, you see 2 lines between that line that we are putting dot on. And visually, you see, physically, you can like 2 lines, but 1 space between dots. And yeah, around some space that we will use with smaller dots, obviously. And like that, we finish. And definitely I'll put more paint on the top later on. We are doing this when everything dries out. Remember about that. And moving forward. So I want to walk around. And I decided to use another green tone straight away. This one is sour apple. But again, if you don't have, you just create custom color with dark green and white. So don't stop yourself, you don't have all paints that I'm using. And with smaller tool, I'm walking around. As usual. Paint still fresh. If you are not sure yet in your movements, you just started, you're just beginner, it's no worry at all. Just wait until your central dot will dry out and move after that. In this case, if you don't like your dots, you can easily remove this. I'm almost never cutting videos when I need to remove some dots because I want to show you that this is happening. This is real. Nothing is perfect, so just don't worry about that. Just remove dot and just wait until everything dry out before you move it forward. Just that simple. So I will use until everything dry out and will put more colors on the top, as you remember. I said already. I want to create bigger flowers over there on using this space. And the color I will use is orange flame, really bright color. You see, I'm passing one line, and this space between two circle lines, I'm putting a dot. Again, somewhere in the middle, between lines, like that. And yeah, again, this time I'm passing two spaces because we're putting this on a space. So I want to use this space like between previous row. This is green flowers. And yes, we're leaving some space between dots because we want to put some strokes, dots, and also really nice things around. Like that. So moving forward, more dots around, obviously. In my case, I create one custom color because I want to make the same tone but lighter with fresh mango, really beautiful color. As I said, materials in description box below this video. With bigger tool, I'm putting one dot on the top. You can see this on a video. It's a good amount of paint, really nice, not touching my orange big dot obviously. And with a little bit smaller tool, I'm walking around. And you see this time I'm not going just around, I'm going a little bit lower, just towards the space between green dots. Like that. And you may notice, this is one of the tips, that when you're doing this with slow pace, slowly, more paint going down from your tool. That's why it make no sense to hurry up or rushing with dots. Just let paint go down from your tool. Find the space that you need. And moving forward, I decided to go with more dots. And the color is fresh mango, really beautiful one. So I'm putting two dots on the top, like you see, inside of this circle line, and third one on the top. Obviously, I don't want to touch each other. And you see what happened? Some of this fresh mango paint somehow gone on the top of this light one we just created. And as I said, I didn't remove this, didn't cut a video. I'm showing you this may happen. Just remove paint until it's fresh and fix it. So I removed fresh paint and now I'm just putting back my dot. So yes, obviously this is the main thing. We don't need rush with any movements. So two inside of this circle line with our marks and one on the top. With dotting, really important. It's really nice when we got a lot of dots. It's beautiful. All these nuances, especially when we are working with different tones of paint. But also really important to leave space between dots. And this is kind of, with mandala dotting, I mean, this is one of the most interesting things, how these dots looks like and at the end when they're separated from each other. small brush. It's around 1 centimeter, maybe 1.5 centimeter. And I'm with the same color, fresh mango, I'm making strokes around. And I'm going towards the space between green dots, but I'm not touching those dots, I'm releasing brush before. And as I said, if you are worried that you can mess up with your movements, just wait until your dots dry out, and after that move with the strokes. Pressing, releasing brush, pressing and releasing brush. Really beautiful. This is a small piece, you may say, but end product looks like real mandala. Why not? Beautiful. Let's add a little bit more strokes. I wanna use a bright orange color, and I'll start a little bit up from this circle line, and I will move between flowers, as you see. At the end, I'm releasing my brush. I'm not going too deep on my green dots. Really important, if it's possible, to leave some space between the strokes. Between these two strokes, like to separate our flowers. If it's not possible, like right now, you see I'm moving and it's not possible, it's fine that it's going on the top of each other. But if it's possible, leave it some space. Plus, end of my strokes going on the top of the flowers on this fresh mango we just created. I don't worry about that. This is make our base of the flower really light and gentle, like that. Moving forward, we got some space over there. Also, we can create more flowers. They will be wider, but not so tall, we say, or long. So, the base, I decided to go with the same red color I did use for the central one. And I'm placing my dots, you see, on a space between these beautiful orange flowers I just created, and it's going on the top of my second from the ankle line. I said ankle, sorry, from the edge. And obviously I'm planning to put more on the top, but for now I'm leaving this to dry out. So I decided to go around with the dots, and the color I will use bright orange we just did strokes with, and the same way one bigger dot on the top, as you remember, not touching with the red ones, and after that with a smaller tool and with the same bright orange I'm walking around like that. And you see, again, I'm going around, I'm going a little bit towards the space between flowers. I'm not leaving like too much space over there, but enough. Beautiful. So I want to lighten up a little bit the space, and you see for this one you need maybe even smaller brush, like 5-6 millimeters I will use now. And I will use my first custom, only one custom color in my palette for today. I'm leaving like this space a little bit and I'm moving around. Because my brush is so small, this stroke's really thin, but obviously it means not enough paint on a brush, so you can't do long strokes like that. but it's easier move with such brush in this particular case. You see, I leave in some space between top of my strokes, and I'm not starting straight away from the edge of mandala. Still 1-2 millimeters, just leave. If you obviously you're creating your own custom painting, you need to go, and you, for example, don't have space, make more space between top of the strokes. Start a little bit lower. Just be creative, because you obviously created your own art, and obviously you like your own painter. Let's move forward with strokes. Yeah, I need to come back with a longer brush, fresh manga again, starting a little bit lower, as you can see on the video, moving around, and end of my strokes going straight on the top strokes that I created to not overwhelm the base of my flower. Sorry if you can hear my neighbor's kids really loud. Outside it's summertime, so it makes sense to play and be happy. More strokes. Let's go with a bright orange, and this time going a little bit up, so almost, but not from the edge, but almost. Pressing, releasing brush, especially at the end. We are going on the top, like that. And now you need to pay attention on the space between flowers a little bit more. The next one, orange flame, and I'll start a little bit lower. You see, I'm pressing and going, almost releasing brush and going straight on the top of my previous strokes at the end, to not make the base of my flowers too heavy. And I'm looking at the space between flowers a little bit more to make enough space for next strokes, to a little bit balance this space. And starting over there, I want to add more strokes. I'm coming back to my smaller brush and my red color. You see, mostly I'm pressing, almost immediately releasing brush. Yeah, I'm really thin line going with red on the top of the base of my flowers. And this way we are balancing palette on our mandala, obviously, by adding small details, because now you can see a lot of red, but actually we'll put a lot of on the top lighter colors, so at the end it will be not so much red, and these strokes actually will be the most red. You see different sizes of spaces left, but we will work with this. And I decided to go with really interesting idea over there. With a really small brush, I wanna place with my custom color, first custom color, small strokes, but really small. You can see this on the video. I'm pressing and almost immediately releasing brush. And obviously when I have like smaller space between flowers, I'm making these strokes a little bit smaller. But yeah, it's really, I want to create like add this symbol of growth that definitely celebrating during summer solstice. And small brush again, I will use my sour apple color, and you see going really small strokes. I'm starting a little bit lower than this my light strokes. Really careful. So if you don't have space, you may leave it like that. If you got like 1 millimeter space, just put one stroke. I did with my first custom color, but you actually can, if you don't have space at all, put one strokes with this sour apple color, for example, or light green colors that you do have in your palette. This will balance your painting definitely. I got some space, it's not too much, but still some. To balance, I will do 2 strokes around with my jewel green color. So do use your imagination, because obviously you are creating your own painting. We all paint different way because we are pressing with different pressure, putting from another angle, even working with different paint. But so your painting will be only your painting. So take a look what you do have. Maybe you have space for more green tones. So don't worry if you can't fit all of these strokes. Just use, if you don't have space at all, just only use light green. This will be brighten up the space between flowers and obviously your mandala. We need to wait until everything dries out and put more on the top. So let's move forward. I want to create a little bit, put more on the top of them. I will use bright orange. And technically you go the same way. You are putting dot, like obviously big dot, and with thin tool you can see how it is changing palette immediately. Yeah. So with thin tool I'm moving paint around again to create nice space, because later on I'm planning to put another tone on the top. So yeah, I'm showing you now real time, so this is not so quickly. Obviously I'm making my video a little bit shorter and speeding up some parts, but yeah, it's a long process, but I actually enjoy this. On the top of these green ones, technically we can actually use this space also. I will go with a light green, or in my case I did use sour apple. Just go straight on the top, on the center. And you see, because we are putting a lot of paint, even our green color dots dry out, you still see that visibly it's like the center is popping out. More and more paint we go in adding, and this working even just without 3D drops, it's just popping out from the surface, your dots. This one more trick, how you can make, even without 3D drops, your dots popping out from the surface. like that. So again, we'll wait until dry out and we'll put something on the top. For now, I decided again put on the base also another tone. I will use this beautiful fresh mango, and this time I'm pressing these dots this way, not on the central one, but the way that base of my dots on the same line. You can see this on a video. You can use actually a little bit smaller tool, because you see this bright orange really thin line left. It's working for me, but if you want to leave more this bright orange tone, you need to use a smaller tool when you add in this fresh mango tone. Yes, so beautiful. And we can add more on the top later on, but again we need to wait until everything dry out. And over there on these green ones, I wanna add bright orange. I will use this, put this on its central part, like that. And you see that you still can see a red color, but it's less now, definitely less. Like that. And now we need to again wait until everything are out and come back later on and add even more details on the top over there especially, and obviously on these ones too. So let's come back later on when everything are out, and we can move forward. With a smaller tool, I want to add on the top, this is my first custom color. And again, the same trick. Because we're going more and more paint on the top, you see it's kind of getting our central dots getting bigger and bigger. And you can add really a lot of paint to make this nicer, like I'm doing right now, like that. So moving forward, I will put also this tone over there on the top of these green ones, but I see this space over there and I want to add small dots with this beautiful fresh mango color and small tool, 1.5 millimeter. Really careful, just small dots, just giving more nuances to our mandala. Like that. And let's go with this one. So let's add, as I said, my first custom color. And again, I'm putting like enough paint on the top, and you see it's visible that dots, like, because we're putting so much paint on the top, on the top, on the top, it's like really popping out from the surface. This camera is located, You can't like kind of see it's in 3D, but it's really visible even in this case how our dots popping out from the surface. Really nice. Removing all bubbles. Remember, you need to do this before you paint dry out. And add more paint, why not? And obviously we can add something on top, and this spot also asking me to add something. And I decided to add over there red color that I'm using. As I said, you may use another red color. Trie Red will be also like really bright. Just small dots at this space. If you got not enough space over there or less space, just put really small one. It really depends how much space left. Like that, beautiful. And over there on the top of these ones, also we can add our first custom color. It's really lighting up our mandala. More and more we're adding these nuances. Again, in this case, I'm putting this the way that the bottom of my dots on the same level. And I may say this is the example. I want to encourage you to try your own way to do this. Maybe use another tones of the colors. Maybe don't use this light one or add yellow. Why not? So try. If you obviously can create the same one, but if you're inspired to add another tone, try it. And you see I'm coming back more and more with the tool and adding like a lot of paint. Make my dot really beautiful. And also what I want to do, I want to add small dots on the top of these ones. Actually, I almost forgot that I did plan this from the beginning. So you can use smaller tool, 1.5 millimeter will be enough. And yes, first custom color, or just on the top of these three. And so the base will be still visible that this is our fresh mango, but this the way when we are adding lighter color on the top, making this visibly more popping out from the surface. Like that. And our bigger flowers asking for attention. Actually, I'm not sure about this space. If you want to add something over there, you can do this. But over there, I want to do 3 drops, but I want to wait until my light dots also dry out. And now I'm coming back to you when everything dries out again. So now I want to show you how looks, if it's visible, when small bubbles left. So not space surface not so nice. How you can fix it? You can put more paint on top. So that's why we need to remove all bubbles until you have paint fresh. But let's move forward. What I want to do, I want to add 3 drops. So I decided to go with this warm orange, Art Creation, and put small one over there on the top, really small one. You can use orange flame and put like these small dots just with paint because it's exactly like close enough tone. So moving forward, I want to with small tool add really small light green, I'm using Sour Apple, on the top of these red ones. I don't know, I was inspired to do this. Don't ask why. You can use another tone. You can add, for example, first custom color that I did use. Also will be nice. But I was inspired to add the green one. Moving forward, over there we got some space. So I decided to add over there 3D drops. I love poison. And you see, I'm putting small dots below this dot we created just a base for this flower. So I decided not to go on the top, but going below, and with needle make really thin, nice tails towards the center. And again, you can go another way, but I was inspired to do so. So over there, I want to go with the same way as I created for central one, but I want to show you how it looks like when I'm putting just small one with orange flame. It's almost the same tone. Obviously, its 3D drops will be a little bit bigger, but in this particular situation, we got so nice dots already done. So it's really perfect working with small orange flame dots. Like that. And you can also add on the top of this one. I just decided not to do this. And yeah, with these flowers we also wanna add something. I again love poison, and I'm going on the top of central dot this time. And with tails, with needle making tails, you see how these small tricks are changing our final mandala, connecting the dots. Again, I don't know what to do with that space, but over there I decided to go with my orange 3 drops, really small dots, really small ones. You can go with paint orange flame and put just small paint dots. So we are finished. Congratulations. Hope you enjoy this painting, and press like button, subscribe. If you want to support my work, you can go and subscribe to my Patreon channel, where I'm posting more bigger pieces. And see you on next video. Bye.